I just saw a TikTok from a guy. I'm going to tag him if I can find it below. But he essentially was giving his overview of a job interview experience, something that I help support people with. And I wanted to give some insight into his experience. So I'm going to tell you his experience, and then I'm going to give some tips as if I were working with this individual. So he first says that he goes to the interview and they make him take a lot of assessments. Sounds like they made him take a math test, a survey, and some other things. Now, this is to him was out of the norm. And I will say that for some companies, they will ask you to take some sort of a survey or an assessment test to see how your personality aligns or see how your actual basic skill sets aligns with the roles. They may also do that because they would like to see if you would fit better in a different role. And so assessments are common. The other thing he mentioned is that they went line by line on his resume. And this right here is crucial because you want to make sure that you review your resume before you submit it for that position, but also you should be editing it for that position. So you should know line by line what it says because you edited it specifically before you submitted it for that specific role. And so in this case, they specifically asked him about an experience that he had, and he could not recall a title that he had for about 4 years. And the interviewer called him out on it, like, so you don't remember a job that you had for 4 years? You can't remember the title? And homie was like, I drew a blank. And the interviewer was like, do you draw blanks at work? So while I can understand him where he's like, yo, I worked those jobs like 17 years ago. Like, I'm not going to remember that shit. You should. You should know what's on your resume because they are going to ask you about it. So if you don't know what title you had, listen, I'm with you. I'm with you because I can't remember what title I had maybe like 2, 3 years ago at one place. I keep mixing up that title anytime anybody asks me about it. For the record, I was only in that role, it was a part-time role for a short period of time, but you need to know these things. The other thing he mentioned was a question that they asked him, which was, what are your weaknesses? Like, what are you bad at? Now, 9 times out of 10, in a job interview, this is a very common question. So you should come prepared with the answer in your back pocket. What are your weaknesses and what are your strengths is a extremely common question. In my research, I've done a lot of education, a lot of conferences, summits, symposiums, workforce conferences all around career services and job search strategies and resume support and best practices for interviewing. And that's a common question. So here's how you answer it. You want to always have a weakness in your back pocket that is not really a weakness. It's like it can double as a strength. Let me give you an example. I am a perfectionist. However, that means that I make sure that I get the job done right the first time. You see how I flip that? I'm very meticulous, which means that I am great at attention to detail. Like, flip it on them, okay? This poor man did not understand the question. And they asked him, like, what are you bad at? What's your weakness? And he said, what do you mean, like in life? Like, what do you mean, like at work? And we all got weaknesses. What are your weaknesses? And homie said his diet. And the interviewer had the audacity to respond. So you lack self-control. Y'all, I hope that he gets other employment and not from that job, because while you may not have been 100% prepared for the interview, but I got you right here. They was fucked up in their responses. I'm gonna say it. They do not sound like an EEO opportunity. So, yeah, if you need support with your resume, you want to brush up on your interview skills. We got work to do. Let's go. One more tips like this. Join me for our Career Compass program. You can find both myself and Emma on LinkedIn. If you want to vet us, here's a QR code. We're starting on Monday if you want to join us for our Career Compass program. This is a beta group, so we will be launching this again, and I'm really excited. So come on and let's optimize all the things for your job search.